welcome. I'm really happy that you're here and that we can continue with spiritual healing. And so last time we used the book of Joel, The Art of Spiritual Healing. And now it's time for using the Course in Miracles. And Course in Miracles and spiritual healing, how does that connect? Well, it works perfectly. Like, what is miracle healing but spiritual healing? And I'm using the manual for teachers partially, and a lesson and a bit of the text, just to deepen the idea that I want to convey. And the idea is basically connected to the question in the miracle teacher's manual, and that is, how is healing accomplished? So we have been looking at that before in other classes. How is healing accomplished? So first of all, in this class we look at our personal individual experience of this all, placed in a possibility for say an experience of totality, and looking at it coming from human mind into Christ mind. See, and these seems like big words. So to bring it back to you even more would be to say, like, okay, this has everything to do with your experience, with you, but you in terms of, in the process of letting go ideas about yourself, letting go of your repertoire of horrors, or letting go of your sharing, say, illusions. No, letting go of that too. So basically what we're doing now is, say, coming in touch with the part of ourselves where there is stillness, where there is no other desire than to be present as the love that you are, and extend that to everyone you meet with no exception whatsoever. See, now we're talking about the realm of being, like we did last week. Like, the realm of being is this, like unconditional love, the place where you actually communicate naturally in stillness with no ideas about anything than the ideas that are given you by God to receive it and extend it by your presence. Literally, like, you take that with you wherever you go. And is that something that you have to be trained at? Well, in essence, no, because you take that with you wherever you go. And of course, you are the one who has to acknowledge it and see it at work in your life. I think that's exactly the place where we meet. So in this class, we look at the ideas. All right, so we know that there's a perfect being. Like, we love that idea that we have a soul, and a beautiful communicating soul with all perfectly arranged, like a perfect soul, a perfect light, that we are in fact a perfect light, shining and extending continuously. We love that idea about ourselves. So the only requirement then is to let that be, to come so deeply into a sphere of acceptance of that, and a stillness of that actually can do its work. See, and this is the training that we're doing. The training then is more like to let go of ideas that are in opposition with this, that are resisting this beautiful, pure being that we are. Like, so that is where training comes in. But so how is healing accomplished? In fact, by letting this happen to you, by letting this happen to you in whatever situation you are, by letting that happen no matter who is coming to you with whatever disease, disaster, or who knows what kind of idea. So you allow yourself to be. You allow yourself to completely be vulnerable, open, receptive, loving, extending. And no matter what is being brought to you is going to be converted, but just by your presence in that. Like you literally extend it. You literally allow that to infiltrate in your surroundings, so that everything is going to reflect that back to you, and that even in the ones that you meet, you see that there's a perfect synchronicity and a perfect communication and love going on. In fact, that is the whole invitation that is connected to the idea of spiritual healing. Basically, you take your brother home if you want. See, we have all these kinds of terms that have gone living a life of their own too. I'm aware of that. But the possibility then is to allow that to be, and allow that to expand, and see that that's applicable in every situation, no matter where you go. Like it literally doesn't have an exception. That's how you can perceive truly. That's where things can be revealed to you. That's where the perfection starts to make sense. Like, oh my God. And also that that's not you doing anything. No, it's more like you allow that light of your beautiful soul, that pure light of your soul, to do the work, or to do whatever it wants to do. And that's extending and loving, and like for everyone and everything you meet, with no exception. So how is healing accomplished? That's by doing that, by allowing that to happen. That's a very simple instruction, isn't it? It's very simple. It's not difficult. See, there's temptation. There's a temptation to love this idea of a beautiful, perfect flame, or a beautiful, perfect soul that you are. And you would love to have that as an alternative for your idea about yourself that you carry during the day, maybe mostly, or maybe not that much. See, the fact is that you really want this reality to be. Otherwise you would not be listening to this, or you would not be here. You have heard the call to do this. You have heard the call, and you've had beautiful examples of the ones that are expanding on this and that are demonstrating this. See, in that sense, there is not really a teaching connected to it. So the teaching is not what it is. And I'd love to remind you of that too. Like, no, this is not about the teaching. It's not about what it says. No, this is about what reality is. Your experience of this. The teaching is the undoing of what isn't. How to undo what isn't, and even that you don't have to do. So here we are, present in this class, allowing ourselves this loving kindness to come to us and to extend this to everyone we meet, with no exception. And hopefully reminding ourselves to do this in whatever situation we are. When we're with ourselves, when we're with God, when we're with our brothers, whoever is on the phone with you, this is what you can extend. Whoever is speaking to you, whoever you meet, whoever you think about. Like literally there is no exception in which you cannot apply this. And the exercise is just for you to step back and become part of this revelation to you. So there, in that sense, then there is no teaching connected to this. There isn't really a teaching connected to this. Spiritual healing can take place if you allow this truth to be true. See, and the truth doesn't need to be described. The truth doesn't need a definition. The truth doesn't need your ideas about it. No, truth is true, and nothing else is true. That is the reality of this. So now you already have an answer to the question, how is healing accomplished? But still, we can still read something. So I will read something that I couldn't find in the urtext, but I really would love to share with you. And that is from The Little Hindrance in the Blue Book then. It probably is also in the urtext, it must be, but I can't find it. The Little Hindrance is chapter 26, the transition. The Little Hindrance, section 5 in the Blue Book. And then in paragraph 13 and 14, I will read them to you. It's really lovely. Each day and every minute in each day and every instant that each minute holds, you but relive the single instant when the time of terror took the place of love. And so you die each day to live again, until you cross the gap between the past and the present, which is not a gap at all. Such is each life, a seeming interval from birth to death and on to life again. A repetition of an instant gone by long ago that cannot be relived. And all of time is but the mad belief that what is over is still here and now. Forgive the past and let it go, for it is gone. You stand no longer on the ground that lies between the worlds. You have gone on and reached the world that lies at heaven's gate. There is no hindrance to the will of God, nor any need that you repeated again a journey that was over a long time ago. Look gently on your brother and behold the world in which projection of your hate has been transformed into a world of love. So this is totally lovely. So this is exactly what we were talking about, what we are sharing, where we get into the feel of, like we're getting into the feeling of this, of the experience of this. So it's like, okay, so as long as I don't believe my ideas about everything, if I let go of them, I suddenly see myself at the gate of heaven and I can enter in. It's like I can enter in. So each moment of the day that I take this serious, this tiny mad idea, taking this serious, I get myself into something that I will die into again, to relive again, to live again. So it's like, it's not the end of the story, but it's something that your mind is still accustomed to. It holds on to old ideas and dies in it, and then comes to life again. Suddenly it's like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Oh, wow, whatever that was. Luckily that's over. And here you go. Suddenly you find yourself attracted to the words of like this pure being that you are, or this beautiful light that extends from you to everyone. And suddenly you receive, like you feel your heart opening up for your brother. So this goes on and on during your day. It's like but here it says like you shift from one world into the other, but the gap is you can hardly call it a gap anymore. It's like you literally start to transition over into the place where you're actually at the gate of heaven and you can walk into it. But the only way to get in is holding your brother's hand and taking him with you in it, and seeing that there's no exception, that everyone is allowed to come in. Like all these ideas that you can hold about everyone, you have to leave those behind. You cannot bring them in too. So this is a very, say, practical way of looking at the idea of heaven. What we're talking about here seriously is then that this is seriously in the sense of where it comes down to experience. It's like, yeah, in the practice of this, in allowing this to occur, that's why you would take your brother home. This is not about just sharing the ideas and talking a little bit about it and considering the idea as being lovely or stating it that it's very lovely. No, it doesn't stop there. So this is our practical spiritual healing training then, is that we go one step further in that sense, or you go one step further. You're invited to do that because you realize that you're transitioning into the realization of your pure being, of your wholeness, of your whole mind, your whole being in God. It's like in your perfect communication. So in step by step, situation by situation, you can practice it. And if you don't get it right away, you will be in the same situation again to practice it again. It's like almost like Groundhog Day. So you will get into it. You will learn this, sometimes the hard way, by repeating a lesson over that's very painful to you. But until you see it, what you're doing to yourself and to your brother, you don't get it. So that's the way that this goes for you. So I love to share this one more time. Like I will read a couple of lines again because it's so lovely and so clear. One part of the sentence is, but relive the single instant when the time of terror took the place of love. So it's like you allowed that change to occur. You allowed terror to take the place of love. So, and to stay with this for a moment, and by confirming the illusory ideas about whatever you think is worth being illusory about, you do that. It's like by every thing that you know is not true and you confirm it, you're actually doing that again. You limit your brother. You actually, say, imprison him with the idea. And of course yourself. So that's good to be reminded of too. See, that is what you don't have to do. See, it's not that you have to do something else. No, just don't do that. You don't have to do that. So there are so many things that you don't have to do. So the last thing you want to do is let truth be true. When you allow that, then you have no question about that you want that to be instead of anything else. So that is then the training that we do, discovering what you don't have to do. Like, no, I don't have to find an answer. No, I don't have to feel differently about this. No, I don't have to do that. I don't have to judge my brother. No, I don't have to have an idea about this world. No, I don't have to have an idea about this physical symptom that I got in touch with. No, I don't have to judge anything. So it's like all these things you don't have to do. So that really gives peace of mind, because where's your mind occupied with when it's completely open? Nothing. So it's like that is the opportunity for you to be happy, to feel silent, still, at peace. Finally, your mind is at peace because it doesn't need to be concerned with anything. So when you're really busy doing something, so this is the other way to see it then. When you're really busy, doing something, thinking that you really need to do something, but feeling that you exhaust yourself a little bit, or that it's a bit frustrating, or that it's like not going that easy, it takes a lot of effort and all that, then just stop for a moment, because you might want to reconsider if you need to do what you're doing. So you discover most of the time, like, I don't need to do this. Like if it takes great effort that I really think that I'm actually sacrificing something in order to achieve something or do something, even if it appears to be helping someone, and then still that is not asked of you. Like there's no sacrifice in this being asked. And since you're so accustomed as a human being, at least like in the mind package that you get as a human being, you're so accustomed to the idea of bargaining or exchange that seems to be hard to be filtering this out of your mind. So you really think that you need to do something for someone because he did something for you too, and stuff like that. So what if there's no reason to be concerned about anything? What if there's nobody that needs your help? And what if there's nothing going on? Like, okay, well, take that in consideration for a moment. What if everything is just right in this moment? And that all your concerns about whatever time may come or has gone will never happen. What if this is the only moment that you can be present? See, and that goes beyond the idea of if. Like this is what is going on in this present moment. There's no need to be concerned with anything else. You're here. You're present. You allow this moment to be complete. You allow this moment to be healed and whole. You allow that to happen by just being present in it and becoming still and letting literally all the ideas that you can come up with, let them die. Literally, let them just fall away. Let them fall apart. Don't follow them. Just don't engage with them. Don't validate them. Letting them go. Letting them go. Just to be able to open your mind so completely that you can receive what's been given in this moment. And coming into this experience of sharing love with everyone and everything. So one description of your life is here: such is each life, a seeming interval from birth to death and on to life again, a repetition of an instant gone by so long ago that cannot be relived. And all of time is but a mad idea, mad belief that what is over is still here and now. So forgive the past and let it go, for it's gone. So that's basically what we just tried. Like, okay, this moment is perfect in itself. It doesn't need anything. You don't need to bring anything into it. No, you just allow this to be complete for you. You allow this to be whole. And see what that does with you, because it is basically an experience. It is a matter of awareness. This is it. This is here. This is now. There's nothing to do with anything else. That's so great. See, that does energetically does something with you when you repeat this to yourself. So you can practice with that too. Like allowing this moment to be whole and perfect. And it's like, okay, all the healing takes place that necessarily can take place in this moment. If I say, let my concerns go, if I allow myself to sink deeply into this moment. And what do you need to do for that? It's like, open your mind. Allow this to be completely new to yourself. It's like a total quantum moment for yourself. Like this is your new scientific research that you're doing, like top of the edge quantum research. You're literally the experiment yourself. You can experience something that is nothing, that nobody ever experienced before. This is you coming home into yourself, and you're the one partner in this scientific research, in this scientific project that you give to yourself. Scientific in the sense of you don't know, this is going to be a discovery. You don't know how it's going to look, how it's going to affect everything, but you know if you let this be complete, your world will never be the same again. That's great. So we're partners in that. That's spiritual healing. Like, absolutely. Allow this to be completely new. Allow your brother to be completely new. You're going to perceive him in a way that you've never seen before. You're going to meet with him, connect with him in a way that you never did before. Allow this connection to be whole and perfect. Directly entering into a holy instant together. So what is connected to this? It is the idea of light, of communication. Like light is communication. It's not something that we can give a definition of in that sense. So it's more like what I shared yesterday too about what Joel shared. It's like it's invisible and yet it is present. It is completely present. It is as abstract as you can possibly imagine. But it's here and now, and it's really there. So you can call it light or any other term. So one of the things that I can use then is the idea of light as it is being used in lesson 75. So I want to read a couple of paragraphs from lesson 75, just because it fits so well into this, what we're practicing and what we're doing. So lesson 75, the first 3 paragraphs, it's on page 323 in the word text. The light has come. The light has come. You are healed and you can heal. The light has come. So before we go any further, it's like it says, the light has come, you are healed and you can heal. This makes you literally the miracle healer that you are. It's like, no, you can heal. Of course you can heal. Of course you can. It's like with that, what we just saw and experienced, it is given you to heal and be healed. You are saved and you can save. You are at peace and you bring peace with you wherever you go. Darkness and turmoil and death have disappeared. The light has come. Today we celebrate the happy ending to your long dream of disaster. There are no dark dreams now. The light has come. So this is the realization of you being this perfect soul, this shining light, and you take that with you wherever you go. That's your responsibility. You take that with you. That's a given. It's not something that you have to develop. No, this is what you take with you. You're this beautiful light, and you take that with you wherever you go. And within that, you can heal and be healed yourself. In that, you can take your brother home by letting go of your ideas about what should happen, how they're supposed to look, what you're supposed to do, and all of it. Like all that will be given as an instruction to yourself. So letting it go, how to do any of this, we don't know, and that's perfectly all right. But say creation is perfect in itself, and that is the truth of who you are, and you take that with you, more and more you will start to see that that is the reality of you. Today the time of light begins for you and everyone. It is a new era in which a new world is born. The old one has left no trace upon its passing. Today we see a different world because the light has come. Our exercises for today will be happy ones, in which we offer thanks for the passing of the old and the beginning of the new. No shadow from the past remain to darken our sight and to hide the world forgiveness offers us. So this is what I wanted to share. It's like, this is a given. Allow this to be your reality. Allow this change to occur to you. No, what happened before is over. It is gone. You cannot validate that here in this moment anymore. It's gone. It's over. You don't have to repeat that cycle again. See, here comes the power of your mind. Here's something that you can do, that you see, it's another thing you don't have to do. Bring the past back into this. No, why don't you just join this, what I said, like the scientific discovery of the new you, is that you allow this moment to be completely new, free of anything that you ever thought before, being present totally different than you ever were, because you realize that that the light has come, and that you take that with you wherever you go, that you can heal and save wherever you go. You take that with you in the ones that you meet, in the places that you go, in the marketplace, not in some kind of solitary monastery or something. No, this is like, you take that with you wherever you go. You don't need anything else for that. So that is great to realize, great to take with you and be aware of. So don't be shy, and shine your light in that sense by just being present that way, by not filling it in any other way. How is healing accomplished? Well, see, very practical, very practical. You don't need to open your practice. No, you take your mission with you wherever you go. You take your practice with you wherever you go. It's literally happening everywhere since you came to town, so to speak. So there's couple more sentences that I love to share. Today we will accept the new world as what we want to see. We will be given what we desire. We will to see the light. The light has come. See, like I said, that is the decision of you. This is the power of your mind that you're actually using. The light has come. This is a true idea. You want a true idea to extend into this world. Here is one. The light has come. I've literally overcome the world. The light has come. So thank you for sharing this with me and being present here with me in this. And in class we're going to share our experiences and how this practically works out, and the new discoveries that we made in this incredible, say, scientific project that we're in, or artistic project, or spiritual project as spiritual healers. So thank you.